Hello everyone, welcome back to Soundarya Study Zone. In today's video, let's discuss how to convert NFA to DFA. Okay, so we are taken a simple example to convert NFA to DFA. The steps are like this. What we have to do is, we have to look at the problem, and then what we have to do is, at first we have to write the transition table of NFA. The goal is to convert NFA to DFA, right? So at first we have to write the transition table of NFA, and after that we have to write the transition table for DFA, and then we have to write by looking at the transition table for DFA, we have to convert it with the help of transition diagram to DFA. Okay, so these three steps we have to follow. This is very simple. The thing is, you have to know about the basics of transition table. Okay, so let's write the transition table of NFA. Okay students, now what is the first step? First step is to write the transition table for NFA, right? So to write the transition table of NFA, here we have to take states that are there, Q0, Q1, Q2, and the alphabets, or we can say it as symbols, right? 0 and 1. So what is the starting state here? I think you are clear with this, right? So starting state is Q0, which is represented with the help of arrow. Starting state is Q0, and what is the end state? End state is represented with double circle, right? So end state is Q2. Here we have to represent it with star, right? So now how to write transition table? So at first Q0 on 0. It will be there in Q0 only, and there is one more transition for Q0 on 0, that is Q0 on 0, it will be moving to Q1. Only two transitions, and Q0 on 1, it will be remaining in Q0 only one transition, so only Q0. And then Q1 on 0. Is there any transition from Q1 on 0? No, right? So we have to represent it with empty set. And then we have Q1 on 1. It is moving to Q2. Only one transition. And Q2, which is a final state on 0, it will be there in Q2 state only. So Q2 only. And Q2 on 1, only one transition. That is also Q2. So this is the simple transition diagram for NFA. Now I have to write the transition diagram for DFA, right? So let's see how to write the transition diagram for DFA. So while writing the transition diagram for DFA, at first you have to take this one only, that is Q0, which is a starting state. So write same as it is, Q0 on 0, Q0, Q1, and Q0 on 1, Q0 only. Done. Right, now what I will do is, I will name these things. Okay, so what I will do is, I will name Q0 as A and Q0, Q1 as B. Q0 same as it is, so I will name this as A only. Clear? For a new things or new set, we have to represent it with new name. That's it. Okay, now it's done. For A it's done. I got B, right? So what I will do is, I will write the transition table for B, that is Q0, Q1 on 0. How to write this is, check what will happen. Q0 on 0. Q0 on 0, it will move to Q0, Q1, and Q1 on 0. At first check it for Q0. It will be like Q0 on 0. It will be moving to Q0, Q1, right? And Q1 on 0, it will be moving to null set. Now combine these two. It will be Q0, Q1. No need to represent this null set. So here we are done with Q0, but Q1 we have null set, so only Q0, Q1. Now check it for Q0, Q1 on 1. So Q0 on 1, Q0, and done. Q1 on 1, it will be moving to Q2, right? So Q0, Q1, we named it already, that is B, write this only. Q0, Q1 already named, that is B, and Q0, Q2, is it there before? No, right? So we have to name it as C. Now for A we wrote, for B we wrote, now the remaining thing is C, that is Q0, Q2. Clear? So now same like that. Check again. Q0 on 0. It will be there in Q0, Q1. Q0, Q1. And then Q2 on 0. Q2 on 0, it will be staying in Q2 only. So Q0, Q1, Q2. And Q0 on 1, it will be there in Q0 only. Q0 and Q0 on 1 is done. Now Q2 on 1, it will be there in Q2. So Q0, Q2. Now name this. What is the name of Q0, Q2? That is C. Right, C is done. Now what is the name of Q0, Q1, Q2? It is not yet named, so name it as D. Now what is the name of Q0, Q2? Already named, that is C. Now I got the new term, that is D, right? So that is Q0, Q1, Q2, that is D. So now we have to check it for Q0, Q1, Q2, all these terms. Q0 on 0, Q0, Q1, Q0, Q1. Q1 on 0, null set, no need to mention it. And Q2 on 0, Q2 only. So Q0, Q1, Q2, done. Q0 on 1, it will be staying in Q0 only. And Q0, done. Q1 on 1, Q1 on 1, it will be moving to Q2. And Q2 on 1, it will be moving to Q2, same as it is. So no need to repeat, okay? If you get Q2 2 times, mention it only one time. So name it now. Q0, Q1, Q2, which is D. Here also I got Q0, Q1, Q2, D. And here we have Q0, Q2, which is already named, that is C. Now I will tell you the next step, okay? Here one more thing to mention, that is Q0 will be the starting state. That's not an issue, right? But which one we have to select as final state? Here Q2 is a final state. But in our transition table, this one is also having Q2, this one is also having Q2, right? So what we have to do here is, we have to take all these sets as final set or final state, which has Q2 state, okay? So this one is also be final state and this one is also final state. The set or the combination of states will be the final state, whichever that has Q2. Okay, so this is how we write the starting state and final state. Both of these are final state. Now, only for your understanding, I am writing this. That is, this again other one table, no need to write this. You can refer this and write transition diagram. Since this is the first problem, I will be writing for your understanding. Okay, so A on 0, it will be moving to B, okay, and A on 1, it will be there in A only, and B on 0, it will be there in B only, and B on 1, just check this, okay. We have to take the named thing here, okay, and B on 1, it will be there in C, and C on 0, it will be moving to D, and C on 1, it will be there in C only, and D on 0, it will be there in D only, and D on 1, it will be moving to C, which is the starting state. A is a starting state, C and D are the final states. This is only for your reference. You can write from this directly. So I wrote this for your reference only. So by taking this, we have to write the transition diagram of DFA. Okay. Okay, you guys know how to write the transition diagram for DFA, right? Simple, same like that. How you have to write? You have to write the states first. A, B, C, D. So what are all the states? A, B, C, D, right? So here what is the starting state? Starting state is A and final states are C and D. So final states are C and D. Now A on 0 it will be moving to B, A on 1 it will be there in A only, and B on 0 it will be there in B only, and B on 1 it will be moving to C, and C on 0 it will be moving to D, and C on 1 it will be staying in C only, and D on 0 it will be there in D only, and D on 1 it will be moving back to C. This is the final representation of transition diagram for DFA. Now let us check whether the transition diagram for DFA is correct or not. So what is the main rule of DFA, or how it is different from NFA? For one state there should be only one transition for one input symbol, right? Which means A is having transition, we have input symbols 0 and 1, right? So A is having transition on 0 and 1 also. So for A it is correct. B is also having transition for 0 and 1, and we should have unique transition, which means A is moving on 0. There is no other transition for 0, right? And then C on 0 it is moving to D, and C on 1 it will be there in C only. D on 0 it will be there in D. D on 1 it will be moving back to C. So this is also called as equivalent NFA DFA, which means we are equivalent or equivalencing the NFA to DFA, or we are converting it to NFA to DFA. There are only 3 steps to convert this NFA to DFA. I hope this video helped you to understand the conversion of NFA to DFA. So in the next video, let's discuss some other examples. So if you like this video, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share with your friends who are learning finite automata theory. Thank you.